First drill we'll do is a chipping drill. It's a 3-6-9 drill. What we've got set up, as far as the setup of it, you've got a band, you've got a string on the ground. We use tees to secure it 3 feet in front of the hole to 3 feet behind the hole. So 3 feet is kind of the magic number for chipping as far as conversion rates. So this is how we do it. We've got tees set up at 3 yards off, 6 yards off, and 9 yards off. You're going to hit 3 balls from each location, and then you're going to do 11 rounds of that. So it's 99 total chips that you're going to do. You want to keep track of either your makes or your misses. Typically keeping track of your misses is easier. 86 or better as far as your makes, that's a really good score. So that's missing 1 ball on every kind of set, except for a couple sets you're able to miss 2 chip shots. I'll do the whole thing, but here's how I'll chip a couple. So I'm going to go from the 3 yards off the green, the 6 yards off, and the 9 yards off. And here's how I would do it, just so that it's valuable. I'd chip shots, and I'd let them kind of play out for your row. So I'm going to chip this band of 3. And then just to show you how I score, I'll take these, the ones that I make on the first band, and I'll move them here. So these are both makes. And then I want to create kind of piles. Whenever you use the strings, create the ones that are long, you want to see long, you want to see good, and you want to see short as well, so you can get a sense of what your tendencies are. And then I'd come back. I'd do the same thing from 6, hit 3 of them up, sort them. I'd do the same thing from 9. I would suggest that you get a journal to keep track of this, to help you keep track of kind of your own personal best and how you're doing overall. Are you getting better? And so 99 balls. So 3, 6, 9, 11 rounds. All right, so the next one we'll do, this is for distance control with your wedges and pitching. So we've got little cones set up. We start 20 yards off the green, and we've got them going from 20 to 40 in increments of 5 yards. And how this one works is, we've got the band set up 3 feet short of the flag, 3 feet long of the flag. How I like to see people practice this, and you can pick the number. I usually go towards 3, especially with a better player. You get 3 balls in, and then you get to move back. So it doesn't have to be 3 in a row, but you're going to stay at the 20 until you chip 3 balls within the band. Then you're going to move back. You're going to do the same thing from 25, 30, 35, and 40. Again, sort your balls up at the front. So that's how you keep track for your score, but that's also how you learn what your tendencies are as far as, am I tending to come up short or am I tending to come up long? And in my experience, most good players, if it's flat or slightly uphill like this, when they miss, they're going to tend to miss short. Recreational players, the same thing. The only time they'll miss long is if they blade it. Okay? So that one that comes up short, I'm going to sort it over on the left, and I'm going to keep going from that 20 spot until I get 3. So at the end, when you're all done, you're going to have 3 clusters of balls. And that's how you'll get your total number of golf balls. All right. Okay, so the next drill we'll do, this is again short game related, and it's really a measure of how good you are at hitting your spots. So hopefully you pick spots when you chip, or zones where you're trying to land the ball. And then this is really a measurement as how good are you at hitting your spots. Now, what I try to convey to students is if you're good at this drill, but you're not chipping and pitching close to the hole, then you're not visualizing the shot correctly, you're not picking the right spots, you're not selecting the right club, or you're not seeing the break. But this is a real measure of your skill as far as chipping and pitching. And so it's 30 balls. I've got a hula hoop 5 yards out, 6 yards out, and 7 yards out. And I want to fly it inside the hula hoop. If it hits it, I count. In lieu of hula hoops, you can use golf towels. You could lay out 3 towels and do it this way. So I'm not trying to bounce it in, I'm trying to land it in. I've got my 30 balls, I've got my journal, I'm going to keep track so that I know what my score is. And so I'm just going to keep going through. It's going to be 10 rounds. And so I alternate. Now I go to the 6-yard hula hoop. Then I go to the 7-yard hula hoop. Then I go back to the 5 again, and I go through that. So I'm going to do 10 rounds of 3 and keep score. All right? 28, 29, or 30 is your goal. Those are good. Okay, so the next one, as far as with the hula hoops, we're going to go 5, 10, 15. And so again, same deal. You're going to go 3 balls, 10 rounds. You're trying to land it in the hula hoop. Keep score as you do this. Never go to the same target twice. It's a measure of how good are you at hitting your spots. This is our second distance wedge game. The target's a little different here. So I've got a noodle just on an alignment stick, and then I've got yellow ropes. They're just more visible. I've got them 6 feet in front and 6 feet behind, so you get it inside the band. You're basically inside of 6 feet. And the distances will go from our 40, 50, 60, and 70. So now they're in increments of 10 yards. The thing about this is you can do any distance you want. Just measure it and keep track of it. So these are great drills to do against a teammate or with a teammate where he's keeping score. So either way, it's good. So again, 6 feet in front, 6 feet behind. We're going to go on this one. We're going to go 40, 50, 60, and 70 yards. The way I do it is I want 2 balls. Typically, I'll go 2 balls within the band before I move back to the next station. That's not in a row. That's 2 balls. Then I move back. Keep track of the total number of balls it took you to clear 40, 50, 60, and 70, to clear the 4 targets. All right, so I'll start at 40. And again, I know you can't see them, but I've got my cones, my little marker cones here, 40, 50, 60, 70 again. And now I'm just going to start hitting till I get 2 in a row inside the band. All right, and then I'm going to move back to 50 and do the same thing.